to 4.
Welcome to the Doug Bailey Radio Show. Here's Doug Bailey.
On the phone right now, Steve Lynch, founding member and lead guitarist of Autograph. Steve, how you doing? Thanks for coming on the show this afternoon.
Great. I'm doing fantastic, Doug. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
How's everything for you in 2017?
It's been going fantastic. I mean, we got this album finished. We got a record deal, and it's charting, and what the heck, can't be much better.
We miss you guys. You haven't been here in the Metro in Des Moines for a couple years. You played a show at the Iowa State Fair here a couple years ago. Well received from everybody out there. We couldn't have asked for any more people than were out there. And as people look back on Autograph, I was in high school in the 80s, love the hair scene. In fact, we've got a staple here at KGGO. We've been playing for over 20 years, 6 nights a week, Monday through Saturday nights. Is an hour show called The Hairball. I know when people think of Autograph, they think of that signature song of yours, Turn Up the Radio. And one of the questions I've always wanted to ask is, how did that song come to fruition? It's a staple in music right now.
It's funny. That song was almost like an accident. What happened was we were jamming around, right before we went into the studios to start recording with RCA, and we were in rehearsal, and we just I was up on stage. I was jamming on this song, this riff that I had, which ended up being the beginning riff. Everybody was saying, "Hey, that's kind of cool. What is that?" And I said, "I don't know. I'm just playing it, And so they all got up and we started playing around with it. Next thing you know, we had the structure of the song going. Like 15 minutes later, then we started sitting down. We started putting lyrics together. It was like a whole band effort, and we just thought, well, let's call it "Turn Up the Cassette Machine," and that was the original title back then. Was "Turn Up the Cassette Machine." But then, right before we went into the studio, we actually turned the title into "Turn Up the Radio," which worked out to our benefit because nobody knows what a cassette machine is now.
Well, it'd have to be turn up the digital iPod machine or something like that.
That's it, exactly. Yeah, turn up the download, something,
That's right. Why do you think that has stood the test of time? I mean, I know for me and for a lot of our listeners and for a lot in general, you hear that opening riff and you know exactly what song it is. Why do you think that stood the test of time?
Because, once you come up with a real hooky riff and it's simple and people relate to it, I think that, it sticks with them. Not only that, it's a song that people just enjoy because, it reminds them of the good times back then, when they were, like you said, you were in high school. You can relate to these songs because back in the 80s, all these songs were really about just having a good time. It was all positive stuff and everything. And then, the 90s came along and they didn't have a lot of songs where you could really sing along with the choruses. That's what kind of went away in the 90s a lot. But the hooky choruses in the 80s, that's what made a lot of these songs really stick around, especially with Turn Up the Radio. That's the way it was. And
that was big for you guys in the 80s. You guys were huge in the 80s. You guys were out on sold-out tours with some of the biggest names of that time, The Crew, and, of course, Van Halen and Aerosmith. What happened towards the end of the 80s that was, should I say it, the demise of Autograph? What happened?
Well, what happened was Bob Summers, the president of RCA, he passed away. Bob Buziak came in to take over, and this was during our second album, and between our second and third album, and they changed personnel there, and everybody's record sales went way down that were releasing at that time. It was all the Eurythmics, it was Kenny Rogers, it was the Pointer Sisters, it was Mr. Mister. So there was a lot of bands that were kind of hurting from the whole personnel change that was going on at RCA. But I don't really blame it on that. That was definitely a part of it. But I looked at it like we weren't getting the same touring schedules, as far as the big auditoriums and stuff like that. At the very end of the 80s, and I think that definitely made it take a hit as well.
During that downtime after Autograph was done, was like 89, 90. What did you stay busy with? I'm assuming, did you go with other bands? Did you do some writing? What did you do to pass the time during that time?
What I did was I did clinics on. I actually have 3 books out in an instructional video, and I was promoting my books. They were called The Right Touch Books 1, 2, and 3, and I was promoting them. And I did 325 clinics in 20 different countries, and then I did a solo album after that called Network 23.
On the phone right now, Steve Lynch, founding member and guitarist of Autograph. Of course, we're just talking about, I was asking you what happened, how Autograph kind of went their separate ways. And we fast forward, 22 years up to 2011. Why did you and Randy Rand decide to meet in Anaheim, which looks like, to me, in reading the bio, was the rebirth of Autograph.
We talked about it at the NAMM show, actually, is where it was down in Anaheim, and we thought, it'd be kind of fun to do this again. There's a lot of bands out there doing it, and let's see if the singer would want to do it. The keyboard player had passed away, unfortunately, and the drummer more recently, Kenny Richards, he had passed away as well. And so we talked to Steve Eisham about it, not Steve Eisham, Steve Puckett, the singer. And he said that he didn't think his voice could handle it anymore, because there's some pretty, intense parts in the singing in there. And so he said, I don't think that he'd be able to do it, and, he didn't think he'd be able to do it. And plus, he was really busy with the television and movie stuff. So that's when we got introduced to Simon Daniels, and Simon was like a perfect fit. And then Simon knew of a drummer that could do it, Mark Whelan, and Mark was a perfect fit. It fell together so quickly. It was just amazing how everything just fell into place, and our writing and everything, it just gelled. And so it was a very natural thing that happened. It's just the whole process was very easy.
And as I said, when you guys were at the State Fair a couple years ago, I had never had a chance to see you live, so I would like to say that was a bucket list crossed off. As I said earlier, I'm a huge Hair fanatic, and being able to see you guys after going through the 80s and listen to the music, I thought you guys kicked ass on stage. I can't wait to see you guys again. That's why we need to get you around here. And Autograph going strong right now. You've got the new album out. It just came out here a couple weeks ago called Get Off Your Ass. How did that title come up?
Well, I called Simon, the singer, because I was just sitting around and I was thinking, I was just watching the morning news and I thought, I got to get off my ass. I got a lot to do today. And I thought, hey, get off my ass.
That's what I was wondering. I figured you were going to say something like that.
Right, and that's all it was. It's that simple. When you come up with these ideas, sometimes it's just you'll drive by a road sign and it may be the perfect fit for a song. Just anything like that. And so I called him up right away and I said, let's get busy on writing lyrics for this right away because this is a motivational song. And then we started thinking, in today's generation with the kids and everything, I don't know if you've seen the video on YouTube for Get Off Your Ass, but it involves, a family where there's a couple of kids that are just sitting around playing video games and not doing anything like getting outside and enjoying their life and getting out doing things, getting chores done and everything like that. And that's what it kind of ended up being, which we thought, this is going to be a great motivational song for people to just get off their ass and get it done.
What can Autograph purists expect from the new album?
I would say you're going to hear some things that are reminiscent about the old Autograph, which is the big choruses in the writing. And then, of course, you're going to have my playing and Randy's playing in there, which tie it into the Autograph sound. But it really has a unique sound all its own. We're a bit heavier. We're turned down a whole step. We don't have keyboards on this. And it still has the melodic phrasing in it. It still has the sing-along type choruses and everything, which are real big. And, I think that people that have heard it just absolutely love it. They say that this is a new, fresh Autograph. It's going to go far.
Kind of like an Autograph 2.0?
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Steve Lynch on the phone right now, a founding member, lead guitarist of Autograph. Steve, thanks for coming on the show this afternoon. You guys are out on the road right now in support of Get Off Your Ass. I have added it to the hairball. You guys are going to be heard loud and proud here throughout central Iowa. People want more information. What's your website, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff?
That is going to be autographband.com is the website, Autograph Band on Facebook, and the same thing with Twitter. And so they can find us on there, and they can join up, and they can get updates on all the tour dates and everything. And by the way, Doug, we're playing Sioux City on December 16th at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
That is an awesome place up there, by the way.
Great.
It is a great place, inside or outside. So we'll get that on the concert calendar at kggo.com. Or I guess they can see you on the 2018 Monsters of Rock cruise.
That's right. That's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing the cruises. This one goes to Jamaica, and you know what they say about Jamaica? When in Jamaica, do as the Jamaicans do.
That's what I've heard, too. My wife and I are planning a get-together, an adults-only thing for our 25th wedding anniversary next year, and the Monsters of Rock cruise was on our list of cruises to take. So hopefully maybe we can make it over there, see you guys. Steve, thanks for the time this afternoon. I know you're a busy guy, and we need to get you back here in Des Moines. We're well overdue for an Autograph show here in Des Moines. So if you can make that happen, Autograph fans here in central Iowa would be very happy. If not, we'll travel and see you in Sioux City.
I'm going to send my booking agent that request right now.
Steve, congratulations on everything throughout the entire career, and good luck on the new album. The single, the single "Get Off Your Ass" is 22 on the rock chart right now, on the classic rock chart. So, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, and it's also 21 on the Billboard Hard Rock Sales, which really surprised us to happen that quickly because it only came out October 6th, so it's really climbing fast.
Well, Steve, thanks for the time today. We will hopefully see you here soon. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
Okay, you too, Doug. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for listening to the Doug Bailey Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform.